Hey, let's jump right in. Have you ever had that feeling where your ability to just sit down and focus on one single thing has kind of gone poof? Well, if you felt that, you're in good company. Today, we're diving deep into a huge topic that affects pretty much all of us, the crisis of concentration. It's such a simple question, right? But man, that feeling is so frustrating. That sense that your own mind is working against you. The thing is, you are definitely not alone in feeling this way. And as we're about to find out, it's not entirely your fault, not by a long shot. So, does any of this sound familiar? You grab your phone for absolutely no reason, or you walk into a room and completely blank on why you're there. How about trying to get through a movie without checking your email? Or my personal favorite, just drowning in a sea of open browser tabs. These aren't just little quirks. They're actually symptoms of a much bigger problem. And that brings us to a really important point right up front. This feeling, this scattered, can't quite focus feeling, it is not a personal failure. It's a collective experience. It's something we're all going through together. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't about you being lazy or undisciplined. The data is piling up, and it's pretty clear. As a society, our ability to pay deep, sustained attention is in a nosedive. We're all basically swimming in the same incredibly distracting water. Okay, so what? So we're a little distracted. Why call it a crisis? Well, because the stakes here are actually incredibly high. This affects everything from our own personal happiness to our ability to solve big, complex problems as a society. See, when we lose our focus, we lose so much more than just a little bit of productivity. We lose the space for deep thinking, for creativity, for really wrestling with tough problems. We lose the ability to forge real, meaningful human connections and forget about achieving long-term goals. A life of constant distraction doesn't just make us less efficient, it kind of robs us of a rich, present, and meaningful life. All right, so if this is happening to us, then who or what is doing the happening? Let's put on our detective hats and investigate the external forces out there that are actively working to chop up our focus. And here is the absolute key to understanding all of this: the attention economy. The apps, the websites, the platforms we use every single day, they aren't really free. We pay for them, all right? We pay with our time and we pay with our focus. Their entire business model is built to keep you scrolling, clicking, and watching for as long as humanly possible, because your attention, well, that's the product they sell. This slide just lays the conflict out perfectly. It's a total tug of war. Your goal might be to just quickly check in with a friend, but the platform's goal is to keep you glued to that screen for the next 20 minutes. You want to find a simple answer to a question. They want to show you more ads. Do you see the problem here? It's a complete misalignment of what you want versus what they want, and it plays out thousands of times a day on our phones. But how are they so ridiculously good at this? I mean, it's not just that the apps look nice. No, it's much deeper than that. These platforms are designed to tap directly into our brain's ancient, primitive wiring. Let's take a look at how they actually get inside our heads. This right here, this is the engine that runs the whole show. It's basically a slot machine for your brain. It starts with a trigger, a buzz in your pocket, that little red notification dot. You know the one. That prompts an action. You check your phone. And then comes the reward. The trick is, it's unpredictable. Maybe it's a great text from a friend, maybe it's a like, or maybe it's nothing. That variability, that maybe, gives your brain a little hit of dopamine, and it trains you to crave that loop again and again and again. And let's be super, super clear about this. This is not a design flaw. It is the core feature. These systems are intentionally built. They are engineered to hijack a totally natural reward pathway in your brain. So this isn't a battle of your willpower against a neutral piece of tech. It's your willpower against thousands of the world's smartest engineers whose job is to keep you hooked. So, where does all of this leave us? We've looked at the massive economic forces on the outside, and we've looked at the biological hooks they use on the inside. Now, let's bring it all together for the final verdict on why we just can't seem to focus. This is it. This is the single most important takeaway. Your attention isn't something you've just misplaced, like your car keys. It is a resource that is being actively mined. It is being extracted by an incredibly powerful partnership between sophisticated external technology and your own internal brain chemistry. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. We're all pretty careful with our money, right? But our attention is arguably way more valuable. It's the currency of our lives. It's what we use to build our reality, our relationships, our skills. So, in a world that's literally designed to steal it, who and what are you letting spend it?